All right, guys, I am back. Digital Laura Anderson here, and today I'm going to share with you another way to monetize ChatGPT right now. I gave 6 examples on TikTok, and I wanted to go more in depth about them. I already put up a video on how to do custom revised resumes and cover letters, and today we will be doing professional translation. That's right. If you don't know any sort of language other than English, like myself, you can become a professional translator without knowing any other language by using ChatGPT. It is crazy, it is mind-blowing, and it's going to change our entire world as we know it. And this is a way that you can monetize it. I will show you specifically how to go ahead and get the best out of this translation for using ChatGPT. So a lot of you guys were saying, it doesn't come out proper, the translation isn't very good, and that's usually because your input isn't very good. I'm not saying that to be rude, it's just the better your input, the better the output. So you have to come up with really, really good prompts. You have to be very, very specific with ChatGPT, and it will give you very specific outputs. So let me show you what I mean by that. I did draft up a prompt, and I will share it with you guys and show you how I will get ChatGPT to make you a professional language translator. So here's the prompt that I drafted up, and when I say be specific, this is what I mean by be specific. So here's the prompt. I'm going to tell ChatGPT I want you to act as a professional language translator, spelling corrector, and improver. I will speak to you in any language. You will detect the language, translate it, and answer the corrected and improved version of my text in Spanish. Now you can obviously put any language there, but today I'm going to be showing Spanish as the example. I want you to replace my simplified AO level words and sentences with more beautiful and elegant upper level Spanish words and sentences. Keep the meaning the same, but make them more literary. I want you to only reply the correction, the improvements, and nothing else. Don't write explanations. Sometimes ChatGPT will like to explain why it does the things it does. That's not necessary right now. I don't need them to explain it, especially if they're going to explain it in Spanish, because I don't understand Spanish and it just wouldn't be necessary. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this prompt, and I'm going to go over to ChatGPT. I started a new chat. I do always suggest starting new chats for each specific project. Each chat is ongoing, and the more you use the chat for the specific reason you're using it for, the smarter it gets and the better it gets, right? So it's like, say you're using a Pandora station, right? And you want it to play songs that you like, and at first the Pandora station isn't really playing the songs you like, so you have to wait for it to start playing songs, and you like the certain songs and you dislike other songs, and then your playlist starts to get smarter, right? Same thing with this. The more you use it, the more you tell it that what you like about it and how to keep going, the smarter it gets and more tailor-made to specifically what you want. So let's go ahead and we're going to paste this. So he's going ahead and saying he's obviously going to be able to do it. So let's get something that we can now translate. If you're working for a brand or a client and they're like, hey, I need you to translate the About Us section on our website, right? Sure, let's do that for you. So I'm just going to pull a random brand. I went over to L'Oreal. I went to their About Us section, and I'm going to just copy and paste just to see. And bada bing, bada boom. And it's going to translate. And now the thing is I don't speak Spanish, right? So how do I know that this is translated properly and that it's not just a bunch of mumbo jumbo? You don't want to hand over a bunch of mumbo jumbo to a client, right? So let's let it finish translating. And then what I'm going to do is we're going to copy and paste this into a Google Translate, right? And we're going to see if it makes sense. So here we go, translated. Because you're worth it with this globally recognized slogan, and since its inception, L'Oreal Paris has encouraged women to live their lives according to their own rules and desires. Committed to quality, scientific excellence, and permanent innovation, we are proud to be the world's leading cosmetics brand that puts the best beauty within everyone's reach. With L'Oreal Paris, beauty is synonymous with luxury, affordability. I mean, I did tell it to, make it more literary and a little bit more revised, and that's what it did. And I think that this is a beautiful translation. Usually, if there's any grammatical errors or it doesn't make sense, when you put it into Google Translate, it'll kind of be a little off and it won't make so much sense. But this translated it absolutely perfectly. So we can even go more into it, right? Let's get more. Let's get it all. The cause we stand for. Okay, we don't need that. Let's just do this much. And we're going to put it in here. And it's going to go ahead and translate. Now it's going to take a minute to translate. Again, we can go ahead and run this through Google Translate just to make sure it's spot on, it makes sense, and that the translation is a good translation. And also, like I said, you can do this for any language, for any website, for anything that needs to be translated, right? And then on top of that, we can also tell it to give us ideas of things that we want it to translate for us. So say a client of yours wants you to translate their entire website into another language. And then it's like, hey, I want you to create emails based on this translation now on our website. I need Spanish emails to go alongside my English emails, and I need you to come up with some ideas. So now that it's translating all of this for us, the About Us section, now ChatGPT has a good understanding of what this and who this brand is, right? Who L'Oreal is, because I gave it there about them. So I'm going to ask it now, as soon as it's done translating, which it's done, to give me some email headline examples. So let's say, give me 5 email headline examples of L'Oreal or of this brand in Spanish. Okay, here we go. And you can get more specific, right? I was very broad, so these headlines are going to be broad. I just said, give me 5 headline examples of this brand in Spanish, right? So let's just go ahead and copy one and put it into Google Translate and see what we got here, because I can't read Spanish. Do you want to empower your self-esteem? Discover the story of Because I'm Worth It. Very cute. That is a cute headline. Let's see this one. And it's obviously based. And like I said, it's generic because I gave it a generic. Join the Strong Women's Movement with L'Oreal Paris ambassadors. Another great headline. And I could have been more specific. Inclusive beauty products for everyone at L'Oreal Paris. So these would all make really great headlines. They make sense. They translate perfectly. I can say, give me 5 more headline or email headline examples in Spanish. Make sure these examples have a fun personality and are a little clickbaity, right? We want people to open the emails. So let's see what we get. Okay, so it's saying it's going to be able to do this. And here we go. So now we should have a little bit more in-depth headlines. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. If you speak Spanish and you're watching me translate this, I'm sorry, it's probably very annoying. But you can do this with any language, so it's really, really cool. I don't know why that didn't copy. Let's see. Give me 1 second. Do you want to know what is the true secret of Parisian beauty? Discover it here. That's a great. And like I said, the more you tell it, and now that this conversation has been ongoing, it's getting smarter. It's knowing what I want. And so I won't have to get as specific when I ask it because it already knows my specifications and the things that I like to ask. So just get smarter as you go. And then you can do this with blog posts. You can do this on the rest of their website. You can write email bodies translated. L'Oreal Paris has a message for you. Be the best version of yourself. So these are all, I mean, you could fully imagine that being an email headline from L'Oreal. So if you want to start offering services as a professional translator, you could absolutely use ChatGPT to do this. So I know for those of you that were a little skeptical, like, you can't tell me that this isn't amazing and that it doesn't work perfectly. Like I said, you can always run it through Google Translate. Google Translate is probably the best example to show you if there's like errors, or if it wasn't perfectly translated, like Google Translator would show you it doesn't make sense. The sentences wouldn't make sense. And it does. It makes perfect sense and it's great. So just remember to have really, really good prompts starting out. So you give ChatGPT the baseline of what you expect from it. If you don't get specific with it and you just say like, hey, translate this into Spanish for me, it's just going to give you the most generic output because you're not giving it enough direction on what to do. So I hope this helps. If you guys start using it to translate stuff, please let me know. It's super cool. I mean, The future is here. It really is. I'm going to be making more videos on how to monetize AI. Other examples, I have one that's like will blow your mind. So if you subscribe and hit the notification, you'll be notified every time I post a new video. So stay tuned, guys. Thanks so much.